Hoda's Career Info is brought to you by Right Career Fit. Feeling stuck or uncertain in your career path? Book your appointment today with any of the career professionals interviewed on this program or with me, Hoda, at rightcareerfit.com. Have that very important career conversation.
With this hyper-competitive market that we've got, the biggest challenge for a job seeker right now is to get noticed. Personal branding for your career, in essence, it's a person's skills and capabilities in the minds of other people. Personal branding isn't about reinventing yourself. It's about reinventing the way others see you. I draw aspiration from a turtle. You have to stick your neck out to move forward. The most crucial point about personal branding is how to use it to enhance your job search strategy through networking. As technology and machines replace technical hard skills, it's going to be the soft skills that are going to be the most difficult to replicate. To start today, not tomorrow, not next week. Start today. Take the time out and start improving yourself. It's never too late to take control of your career and land your dream job.
Thank you for joining me in Season 2 of Hoda's Career Info, your program where career professionals from across the globe share career tips and personal stories to help you successfully navigate your career. I am your host, Hoda. I look forward to another season of career chats with international career professionals who aim to inspire you to take your journey to the next level. Ready to meet this week's guest? My guest today is Dave Crumby. Born and raised in New Zealand, Dave moved to the UK in 2008 to show the world that Kiwis can fly. With an early career in sport and leisure, Dave played and coached sport at an elite level. However, injuries forced a move into recruitment and talent strategy for global life science companies. In 2018, Dave was supporting a company in Sheffield, UK, where he was responsible for supplying blue-collar workers. Their applications had a profound impact. Many of them were handwritten, others were badly formatted. So, Dave founded Sheffield Talent Solutions to support these local job seekers and correctly format their resumes and cover letters. During this time, Dave began to learn everything he could about personal branding and career development. Then, COVID hit. The world went remote, and Dave realized his global network of professionals needed his help. His small business had to support a bigger audience. Dave dedicated his time to helping his international network find work during an incredibly challenging 2 years. He is proud to say that Sheffield Talent Solutions is now active in 20 countries across Europe and North America. Technology is rapidly changing the way we manage talent processes. That is why 1 year ago, Dave founded 360 Talent Solutions, which leverages 60 years of talent data to optimize talent strategy. 360 Talent Solutions strives to become a trusted talent partner by using technology to reduce the risk, time, and cost of recruitment and talent strategy. Talent always remains at the heart of everything Dave Crumby does. In this episode, Dave detailed the meaning and value of personal branding. I hope our chat motivates you to work on your personal brand and ensure that everyone knows about it. What are you waiting for?
Welcome, Dave Crumby, to Hoda's Career Info. I'm always amazed by the power of technology that allows us to connect across the globe, you from Europe, me from North America, and all the way from the UK. And with the time zone differences, I really, truly appreciate that you were willing to have a career conversation with me today. And without further ado, I'm gonna get down into the questions. One of the goals of Hoda's Career Info and the interviews I do is to raise awareness about the value of career literacy by attempting to define other career terms within the career world. Which career term would you say reflects the work that you do? And I would want you to please define it as you would, not the dictionary definition, but as you would reflecting your work.
First of all, I'd just like to say thank you very much, Hoda, for giving me the opportunity to speak with you today. Now that we can connect virtually, it's been great, and I've watched a lot of these videos, so I feel very privileged to have the opportunity to share the little bit of knowledge that I have around career literacy. And what I'll quickly say is, well, first of all, actually, I want to applaud your work that you do around this, simply because I feel there's a lot of interchangeable terms that are used to describe different career terminology. And I think for a job seeker, they're going to find that incredibly confusing. And because there's a lot of information out there that they won't really know what information is going to be relevant to them and what's going to be most valuable for their careers. And so I really praise you for doing this work, because there's a lot of good work that can be done for people, and for most of them, they just need to know where to start. And so the term that I would like to define and discuss is personal branding. It's a topic that I've been learning about for a number of years now, and again, people use it in different ways, and so there's a lot of different meanings out there. And so in terms of personal branding, it's been around for decades. And at one point, it was something suitable for sport personalities, celebrities, politicians. But as time's gone on, technology's developed and new platforms have rolled out. Personal branding is something that is now accessible to everyone. And the way I define personal branding, well, first of all, if you start with what's a brand, to me, a brand isn't a logo, it isn't a color, it isn't a slogan. Rather, a brand is what people will think or feel about something. And so a personal brand is what people will think and feel and say about you when you're not in the room. And if we translate that to your personal branding for your career, in essence, it's a person's skills and capabilities in the minds of other people, most notably your colleagues and employers. And if you're to picture an iceberg, for instance, so of an iceberg, 90% of it you don't see, it's underwater. And that's going to be your dedication, your hard work, the sacrifices you make. So these are all the things that people don't see. All that people do get to see is that top 10%. And which are your perceptions about you. And I speak to a lot of leaders, and these leaders will say, like, Dave, I'm not looking to reinvent myself. I didn't go to university or college to change everything now. And I always say to them, it's like, look, personal branding isn't about reinventing yourself. It's about reinventing the way others see you. So we focus on what's above the water, which we shape and mold to your future aspirations. And it's that future part that's most important, because when I talk to people about their personal branding tools, so your resume, your cover letter, LinkedIn profile, your online portfolio, your personal website, these aren't backward-looking documents that show people what you've done. Rather, they're forward-looking marketing documents. So we're not telling someone what we've done, we're convincing them that you're the right person for them.
Thank you, Dave, for simplifying it really in a very eloquent way, that idea of personal branding, and using that iceberg metaphor that we all love and believe it really is what it's all about. And yes, I love the personal branding as a career term as well. The next question I have for you is a two-part question. You can answer it as two questions, or you can blend it together if, as you see fit. Can you tell the audience a little bit about your story, your background? And many clients like wonder what keeps you motivated every day to go to work, right? So what keeps you to go to motivated to go to work every day?
Yeah, I mean, this is such a great question. And I was with a friend last week, and my friend asked me, he said, it's like, Dave, if you could do any other profession, what would it be? And I was like, I'm doing it now. I was like, I love what I do. I absolutely love it. I can't wait to go to work tomorrow. I mean, I absolutely love it. He looked at me like I'm a weirdo or something. But so for me, I've spent the last 10 years supporting the recruitment and talent strategy for pharmaceutical companies, ranging from your small to medium enterprises right through to your Fortune 500 companies. And over this time, I've scanned over 20,000 resumes, conducted more than 7,000 interviews. And during this time, I've really learnt a lot of practical knowledge and skills. But during this time, I've always felt this itch that would never go away. And it's like this something that I should be doing something better, something bigger. And with the pandemic, it gave me a lot of time to think and to reflect. And I did a lot of different exercises. And eventually I managed to find an alignment between my core values, what I'm awesome at, and what makes me feel alive. And it was this alignment that really sparked the flame, and I really knew what I wanted to do. And what it comes from is that my greatest satisfaction comes from helping good people to do great things. Whether that's a candidate landing their dream job. By the way, they always call me first when they get offered a job. They don't call their mom or their dad or their loved ones. They always phone me first, and I absolutely love that. I am just as pleased as they are. And then the flip side to that, as well, as I get to help CEOs to make to research and make commercially viable drugs that are going to treat unmet needs by finding them the best talent. So helping good people to do great things and helping companies to do great things as well is where I get all of my satisfaction from. For me, I'm originally from New Zealand, so apologies if you can't understand me. But I don't know if you've heard of the All Blacks Hoda, but they're the New Zealand national rugby team. They're very, very successful. And the mantra that they go by is that better people make better All Blacks. So you can always be better off the field as well as on the field. And that the mantra is not really about rugby. It's more about life, being humble, and self-improvement. And so it goes that better people can make better doctors, better business people, better parents, better brothers, and better sisters. So by aligning what made me feel alive with my own core values, I knew that I want to help as many good people to do great things. Also, where I come from as well, there's a saying, it's a really famous saying where I'm from, which is seek the treasure that you value most dearly. If you're to bow your head, let it be to a lofty mountain. And basically, the saying talks about setting goals and pursuing your dreams. It talks about perseverance and endurance and refusing to let obstacles get in the way to achieving your goals. So for me to be true to my core values and have had the courage to go for my dreams and aspirations of helping good people to do great things, I draw aspiration from a turtle. You have to stick your neck out to move forward. So to answer the final part of your question about what drives me, it's my values that act as my compass, and it's a turtle that drives me forward.
I love the image of the turtle, and it is so true. We really have to stick our necks out to move forward. I love that. Thank you so much, Dave, for sharing your story. And I could sense your passion for your work and how, like many career professionals, we're happy when we hear our clients are happy that they've accomplished their goals. but your passion definitely came out from the stories and the experiences you shared. Next, I want to take you to the name of your company, which is 360 Talent Solutions. And I see behind you the hashtag and the creating a better tomorrow together. I mean, from your story, we picked up on your better, and but how would you tell the audience a little bit about your company and your logo and how you're making things better for tomorrow?
Yeah, so a year ago, well, if I wind back, say 3 years ago, I was working with a local company here in Sheffield in the UK, and we were tasked with supplying blue collar workers. And I was really surprised by the applications that come through, where I had resumes that were handwritten. I had some that were formatted terribly. They were all in bold, italics, underlined in large print. And I thought to myself, these people need a lot of help. And so back in 2018, I founded a small business, which is called Sheffield Talent Solutions, which is a small business to consumer business that I have. And at the time, that was to help format CVs for local people, just so that they can make applications. And during the pandemic, I had a lot of my own global network reaching out. And then that's when I realized, well, I'm going to have to shift gears here and help a bigger audience. And so I pivoted with Sheffield Talent Solutions to then offer career services to an international network. Since 2018, I've been constantly learning about personal branding, career development, career coaching, but putting my own practical spin on it from the years that I've been working with these companies. And then 1 year ago, I created 360 Talent Solutions, which is the main business I work in. And I created that company with a mission to create a better tomorrow together, which simply means, for me, it's about building synergized relationships with people and companies to do great things. And so we challenge ourselves to make 1 + 1 = 4. And we do that by showing people how to take control of their careers and landing their dream jobs, which will give them better work-life balance, leading a more meaningful life, and at the same time helping companies to do great things by optimizing their talent strategy. So that's finding cures, reducing carbon emissions, and creating more sustainable living. The logo has recently changed. And as you all know, Hoda, I was on holiday a few weeks ago in Madeira, and I was walking through the Mont Palace Tropical Garden, which is amazing, by the way. And as I was walking through it, I spotted this statue, and it really struck me. And simply because it had a very common pattern that I'm familiar with from back in New Zealand. And so I took a photo of it. I did some research into what it meant, and I thought, well, this is exactly what 360 stands for. And so I've created a new logo to resemble that. So I have two meanings for this logo. So internally for us, the outer circle represents a turtle, and then inside it has 3 inner, what we call korus or ferns, which are used to represent the circle of life, or your family life cycle. And for us, that life cycle is our core values of authenticity. So to be true to ourselves in everything we do, cooperation, to openly share information that will benefit others, and humility. So to know our limitations and be open to learning from others. And then externally, it represents the talent life cycle, from talent attraction, performance management, and outplacement, and transition services. So as a company, we aim to optimize the entire talent life cycle. And the life cycle becomes complete when we provide coaching to those who are leaving a role. And by coaching them, we can develop them into better employees for their next company, where they can go on and do great things. So that's how we get our 1 + 1 = 4.
I love the vision and the mission behind that logo. I love how you wrapped up everything in that logo. Very creative, and I don't think I've seen it yet. Is it on LinkedIn or Instagram yet?
Yeah, it's only just gone live, but it's on all of it's on the website and it's on LinkedIn. It's everywhere now. It's very cool.
I'll have
I'm
a
very
look
happy.
I'm curious now to how it looks, because definitely loaded with meaning, not just a logo. There's definitely lots of meaning behind it, and I like the inner and outer vision of it. Congratulations on that. Very creative. Now I want to take you to My Career Snapshot. You are partnered up with My Career Snapshot, and I am too. And I wanted to see, what value do you see in My Career Snapshot? Like, why did you partner up with Rex?
Yeah, so one of the best things about this partnership is I got to get in contact with you, Hoda, and we've been engaging for the last year now, and I've really enjoyed following your amazing content across all of your platforms. So that was a massive bonus. So with the pandemic and everything, it's really accelerated the creation of bringing technology into the hiring practices, which has actually, since the pandemic, fostered this great rejection, the record number of vacancies, yet a record number of rejections. And so with all of this, it's created, I would like to think of as the perfect storm. We've got this super hyper competitive job market we have now. And with Rex Roy, so Rex Roy is the founder of My Career Snapshot. He and I, we connected. I don't know if you remember the article he published, but it's a really poignant article, Ageism and Hiring, so 7 hard truths and what we can do about them, on
Absolutely.
LinkedIn.
Yeah, I interviewed him because of that article. Yes, absolutely great article.
Yeah, so did I. And I really felt for Rex because he opened up his heart and he shared his real life experiences. And from that, I just felt compelled to engage with the post and to reach out. And so I messaged Rex and say, look, I've read your article and it was really, really put a number on me. And so if there's anything I can ever do, I know you're in the US, but if there's anything I can ever do, please let me know. And so we connected and we started exchanging ideas. And at the same time, Rex connected with several other career advisors, some of whom are considered as influencers or thought leaders in this space. And what resulted was the Career Snapshot, which he first developed for himself. And then when others took a look at it, they went, hey, Rex, look, this could really benefit others. So this is how it all come about and how it was all created. And if I can just quickly take you back quite a few years, when I was back in New Zealand, there's a milestone called your 21st birthday. And it traditionally was to celebrate the coming of age. When you become an adult, you can then vote, you can drive, and you can drink and so forth. And legislation's changed over the years, but the milestones still remain the same as a special point in a person's life back at home. And so my parents asked me, they said, what would you like to do for your 21st? And I said, well, I want to have a big party. They said, okay. So we organized this big, massive party. We got all the decorations out. We got all the music. We got all the lighting and everything. And then halfway through the night, there wasn't many people there. And so my mum comes up to me and goes, son, how many people did you invite? It's like, what do you mean invite? Well, did you invite anyone? I went, no. So I just assumed everybody would show up. And I know I introduced the personal branding earlier, and the most crucial point about personal branding is how to use it to enhance your job search strategy through networking. And so with this hyper competitive market that we've got, the biggest challenge for a job seeker right now is to get noticed. And that's why networking is so important. If you think about my 21st, if I would have gone and told everyone about it, they would have shown up. The same goes for your personal branding as well. You can spend all the time you want on it, on making it look really, really nice. But if you don't go and tell the world about it, no one's going to ever know all of these wonderful things you can do. And so this is where I think the true value of the Career Snapshot comes in for me, because I feel that it augments your personal branding tools. So it's not there to replace your resume, LinkedIn profile, cover letter. Rather, it's there to supplement them. Now, I have a lot of leaders come up to me and say, Dave, I'm not going to self-promote myself. It's not me. It's not in my culture to brag. And I get that. I get that 100%. And one of the things I'll often say as well, let the numbers do the talking. And with the Career Snapshot, I actually went through the process myself. I went and bought one for me. And so Rex taught me through the process. And what really surprised me was the numbers, the metrics that come out of it. And as I mentioned before, I've screened over 20,000 CVs, resumes, conducted over 7,000 interviews across 20 different countries. And it surprised me. And if it's going to surprise you, then it's going to surprise the hiring manager as well. And that's why I think it's such a great networking tool, because it promotes engagement. It slows the reader down. It's human nature to stop and look at graphics and numbers. Graphics and numbers are universal communicators. So if you can imagine a hiring manager receiving this one page of all your best achievements, it's going to build curiosity, and it's going to want them to know more about you. So then the next thing they're going to do is look at your resume, and they're actually going to read it all, because what they're looking for are the different parts of the resume where you've had each achievement. And I think it's because of that, I feel it's a real game changer for job seekers. It visually communicates your value in an instant.
Thank you for the background. I did not know that you and Rex were involved together in getting it going. So that's cool for me to know. I agree with you on everything you said. And everyone who works in the career profession, I think, agree with you. But do you really feel that the world is ready for my Career Snapshot? It is an investment. And so, yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
It absolutely is. Now is the time, because the market is so competitive, and the way technology is going, it's only going to get even more difficult for people. And so now is really the time to do it. But again, if I go back to my 21st, it's one thing to buy it, but if it just sits there and do nothing, then it's going to be worthless. So you have to make the most of it, and you have to incorporate it into your whole job search strategy. So when you go to interview, you leave a copy with the interviewer. I mean, could you imagine the interviewer taking that back to the office and just putting that on the desk? If someone's walking past, they're all going to take a look at it, because it's so visually impactful. And the one issue with a resume is I feel that it's not the best networking tool, because you can't approach someone and give them a 3-page resume that's full of content. Nobody's going to read that. Whereas if you're networking and you've got that on you and you can pass it on, within 10 seconds, they know a lot about you already. And that's why I think right now is the perfect time for it.
I agree with you. And I think it's a great idea. Like for some clients, I'm saying, rather than invest in a business card nowadays, invest in the Career Snapshot. Definitely will tell everybody more about you, and it will make you more memorable when you go to network. But thank you for your examples. And I've got one more question for you, Dave. I always, and you, I'm sure, advise our clients to continue to professionally develop and embrace the change. What are some of the ideas or projects going through your mind right now? I know you just finished rebranding, but what are you hoping to accomplish now or perhaps in the future?
So this is a really, really good question, actually, because at the moment that the world is becoming much more complex. Technology is really changing the way things are done. It's really I said that put these changes into overdrive. So for me, for someone who puts talent at the center of everything I do, the biggest threat that I can see is technology. Technology's long been a threat to the talent industry. Yeah, I think now it's becoming a bit more real and Star Trek-like. At the beginning of last year, I did some research into automatic tracking systems, and I was doing it from a perspective of what advice can I give job seekers to help them to navigate through these automatic tracking systems. And what I actually found was that the big players such as Oracle and IBM have been busy acquiring small companies at pace. And they do that as they race to automate the entire recruitment process. And so for me, I thought, right, changes are coming. And at the same time, I happened to be approached by a company called Humanostics. We formed a partnership, and together we helped to optimize the talent strategy for companies. And we do this by providing a range of different assessments, such as cognitive assessments and behavioral assessments, which leverage 60 years of data to provide insights into the needs and drives of their workforce. And with these assessments, they create insights into how people interact, and are proven to be the highest predictors of success in predicting future performance. So at the end of the day, we're in a business of predicting future performance. So if someone doesn't hire you, it's mainly because they don't trust you to be able to successfully perform the future duties or fit within the team and company. So as technology and machines replace technical hard skills, it's going to be the soft skills that are going to be the most difficult to replicate. And so it's always going to be these soft skills that are going to be measured. And how do you measure how collaborative someone is? So, I mean, this is why we have behavioral interviews, situational interviews. But as the workplace becomes increasingly complex, interviews alone cannot predict this. And so what that means for a job seeker is get used to these assessments. 75% of Fortune 500 companies now use them. Therefore, it's actually really important for job seekers to understand how they work and how they can use it to their strengths. And the way they're going, the best way for them to do that is to start practicing these assessments now. They'll help you to become more self-aware of what comes natural to you, and also the type of environment where you would most likely thrive. So by better understanding these points, you'll be able to make a better informed decision for which company you choose to work for next.
So just to clarify, so the assessments help with self-knowledge, and so you're saying more skills, or? Yeah,
so I feel that, that these assessments can help someone to become more self-aware about how they interact with others. So some people, everyone will have their own opinions about themselves, but these assessments objectively measure how someone would, or predict how someone would behave in different circumstances. And so specifically to the assessments we provide, they're based on a theory that everyone has basic drives, and it's these basic drives that create needs, and how you behave is in response to these needs. So when we're trying to predict future behavior without understanding their needs and drives, we're just guessing. But by better understanding what someone's drives and needs are, we're much better at predicting what their behavior will be.
Thank you for explaining that. I appreciate it. Well, these were all the questions I have prepared for you, Dave. Was there something that you wanted to talk about that I didn't ask you, or anything else you want to wrap up with?
All I'll say is there's, for any job seeker out there who's feeling helpless and don't know where to start, what I'll say is that you're not alone. I speak to job seekers every single day. I feel the desperation, I feel the frustration. But what I will say is there's a tremendous amount of support and services available out there. And there's a lot of people who I know, like yourself, Hoda, who genuinely want to help. Most are generous with their time because we all know what the most important step is for someone's job search, and that's to start. So my message is to start today, not tomorrow, not next week. Start today by reaching out to someone such as yourself, Hoda. We all live busy lives, but habit 7 from the book of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey is to sharpen that saw. So take the time out and start improving yourself. It's never too late to take control of your career and land your dream job.
That's a perfect tip to wrap up with. Thank you so much, Dave, for hanging out with me. I don't know what time it is where you're at, but I appreciate your time.
It's late, but you know what? I've been really excited for this, and I've been looking forward to it all day. So that's not a problem at all.
Thank you for joining me and Dave Crumby in this episode of Hoda's Career Info. I hope Dave's tips inspire you to take control of your career today. You can connect with Dave on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter. You can also reach him at one of his 2 websites, 360talent-solutions.com or sheffieldtalentsolutions.co.uk. Please remember that you can listen to Hoda's Career Info since it's also dropped as a podcast. To let me know if you are interested in an opportunity to talk about your work, you can send me a direct message on my website, rightcareerfit.com, where you can also sign up for my newsletter to stay up to date on the latest episodes. Remember to like, subscribe, share, and follow me on social media for more career info. I am your host, Hoda. Until next time, stay inspired and keep moving in productive ways.